Superstitious people, you're archaic and pagan. If you think you're not superstitious, think again, because a lot of our practices prove otherwise. Placing the wedding ring on the fourth finger of your left hand, throwing rice at the newlyweds, knocking on wood, crossing your fingers, and even feng shui, just to name a few. Whether you like to admit it or not, we are all superstitious. And today, with Halloween around the corner, I'll be sharing with you a few superstitious beliefs you may not have heard of from Cameroon and Ghana. Now, you may refer back to my Cameroon tag video I made earlier on this year if you're curious as to why Cameroon and Ghana specifically. Now, some of these superstitions may not be specific to Cameroon and or Ghana, but those are the ones I grew up hearing about over and over again. But before I dive in, my intro. What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. As promised, this is a follow-up video from last week's video about culture. Superstition is what we'll be discussing in case you missed the memo. Now, we cannot talk about Cameroon, Ghana, or Africa as a whole without talking about superstition. It is very prevalent in Africa, and in my opinion, perhaps more prevalent than anywhere else because of traditions, level of education, and geographical placements, according to an article I read. A lot of it is passed down from generation to generation, and the less educated people tend to be uber superstitious. Now, I'm going to keep these superstitions PG-13. Now, if you're curious and interested in other rated R superstitions, you're more than welcome to peruse Google on your own. I wouldn't want this channel or video to get a strike because someone's offended with the content. That being said, let's jump right in. Now, the first thing that was a big no-no when I was growing up was whistling and sweeping at night. Now, I cannot whistle to save my life, so that was not an issue. Now, the way my mom explained it, whistling and sweeping at night opened up a portal to invite in unwanted spirits into your house, which is why it was discouraged. Now, the second thing that I remember very vividly from my childhood was doing a little dance every time I lost a tooth. Now, whenever my brother or I would lose a tooth, my mom would go outside and throw that tooth on the roof. And we were supposed to do a little dance. Not the both of us simultaneously, but whoever lost a tooth. Whenever we heard the tooth hit the roof. Now, we had a zinc roof, so we heard the tooth hit the roof very clearly. Now, the belief was the tooth wouldn't grow back if we did not dance. Well, at least that's what my mom told my brother and I. I guess that was her version of the tooth fairy. Whoever said they wanted to go back and relive your childhood is seriously demented. I mean, who would want to go through losing teeth again? Certainly not me. Once in a lifetime is good enough for me. Now, moving right along to the third superstition from my childhood. Now, this one did not apply to me, at least not at the time anyway. Pregnant women were to stay away from doors left ajar. There was a correlation with a door left ajar and a miscarriage, or just general bad luck with the pregnancy. Speaking of bad luck, picking up coins from the ground, especially in a public place, was bad luck. Unlike here, where picking up a penny from the ground that's heads up supposedly brings you good luck. In Cameroon, and dare I say most of Africa, because the vast majority generally had little, and by little I mean not excess, just enough to get you by. People generally held on tightly to their money, which made finding money randomly on the ground somewhere very suspicious. Probably jinxed.
Don't touch it.
And this goes without saying. People throwing money into fountains for good luck in Cameroon, not a common occurrence. Also not a common occurrence, well, at least not here in the US, is reciting your nightmare to a toilet or a trash can, which is what my mom encouraged my brother and I to do whenever we woke up from a nightmare.
But it wasn't a dream. It was a place. And you were there.
Doing that was ridding ourselves of the nightmare in the same way we would rid ourselves of unwanted things or waste, almost like a purge, a placebo for lack of a better term. And with that, the video has come to an end. Hopefully, I did not spook you too much to where you wouldn't like, share, or hit that notification bell and come back next week, Tuesday, for another video. And I hope you have a spectacular rest of your day. Deuces.